Hello, and welcome to Fandom Fridays, where we are in the middle of a busy debate where, in fact, we are trying to determine, besides reading all the fanfics that are not pony related, whether to be happy and read a fic he enjoys, or whether we should read a rational fic. Problem solved. You don't, and you don't get paid. Right. Bad fic it is. And here's an interesting one called Rationalizing Death by Scientist's Thesis. Enjoy. Rationalize Death by Scientist's Thesis. Oh, joy. With a name like that, I can only imagine happiness. Author's notes. The noted intelligences of light, mellow, near are mostly informed abilities. What? What? Jay? You son of a bitch! No, Vic, please, do go on. I'm curious. How is it that Light and L's intelligences are informed? Oh, Trixie might know. Please, Trixie, enlighten me. Simple. L is stupid because he didn't recognize Light as Kira. You mean it should be easy? Of course! You're right. Of course. Why wouldn't anybody figure out that Light is Kira? Light looks like anybody else! And all of Light's monologues are eternal, and Light only acts devious around us, and Light most of the time is happy, smiling, cheerful, talks to his dad like a normal person, and is quite friendly, and never once has a bad thing to say to anybody. Only when he's in Kira mode does he actually act like that, and towards us, the audience. So anything that would be shown as him giving away would be purely that. Not to mention, of all the evidence that points to Light being Kira, that only a genius like Al could detect. Like, for instance, Light gives it away by... And then there's the... Well, surely you guys must have figured it out when... Nope. Got zilts. But surely L is stupid because, well, because this fanfic said so! And of course, several other people said so! And if you don't believe several other people, who can you trust? You're just an idiot waiting to happen, aren't you? Is there a meaningful sense in which you could say something is the cause of something else? Sure, that lightning strike hitting a particularly dry patch in the woods caused a fire, but the lightning itself can only exist due to other environmental circumstances that have been going on for, well, ever. Oh... God, no. Please tell me this is not one of those no reason things that showed up on Rubber. Look, that metaphysical stuff didn't work in that movie, it's not working here. You could say the hurricane wouldn't have happened because the butterfly never flapped its wings, or had it flapped its wings a second before or a second later. But there's seldom in real life a specific event that could be entirely to blame for another. It's always a confluence of events, several things that together make something happen, sometimes truly incredible. I'll get it, so I'll punch you right now. That wouldn't be a single specific event that's completely blamed on your own arrogance and stupidity, but due to the events that I was raised not to tolerate stupid, and your sequences of events that led you to being completely another asshole. Right. That day, boredom was one of several of these events. Two very different people were very bored. They didn't know each other, didn't live near each other. They were just two people who happened to be very bored this day. Oh, I do hope that this is going to be intelligent. One of these people is a 17-year-old boy named Yagami Light. Thursday, November 7th, 3:37 p.m., 2003, Tokyo, Japan. One afternoon, in a classroom in Tokyo, the prodigy was sitting at his desk, failing to pay attention, while the teacher droned on about something important. He already studied at some point that, if she asked, the clues on a blackboard or his working memory would be enough to let him figure whatever magic passwords he wanted to hear was. Teachers mostly didn't bother to do anything about it anymore, not like they expected his attention, or lack of would seriously affect his academic prospects. Though he was seeing nothing, he was still looking at something. His eyes never really wandered, as thus they were always focused. Too long on the description, please stop rambling. Someone took the chains. He noticed it immediately. It took him a few seconds to understand what had drawn his attention. Eventually, he did see a black rectangle now lowing on the grass outside. It had been there before, he was pretty sure. It was positioned just out of the way, not really visible for the advantage of anyone walking past it. He wasn't actively looking for it. He drove it from his mind, thinking about mysteriously appearing rectangles when he could do nothing about them for another 20 minutes would be a waste of his emotional energy. He thought instead about his plans. His father didn't much care for them, but he meant to become a politician. He was a member of various students' groups, been to rallies. He had been friends who knew people. He was charming, attractive, unfailingly polite, brilliant in a non-threatening way people admired and weren't jealous of. He was going to law school. He was going to make a difference. Small scale, sure, but it was what he could do. He knew that there was no way he'd take over the world. That was wishful thinking and fantasizing. He had to improve things little by little, manipulate people to be better people, and do his best, and maybe take over Japan. By becoming his prime minister, of course. Who knew? Not really seeing much of a difference between here and the canon story, other than the fact that Light suddenly wants to become a politician. The bell rang and class was dismissed. He took his time packing his things. Whilst the other students swarmed out of the building. He exchanged a few words with people in his classmates, promised to send someone an essay, lend someone else a book he had. Then he left the classroom, once out of the building. Making sure he'd be one of the last to exit, he made his way to the black rectangle, trusting someone else would have picked it up had it been theirs. Worst case, he'd find its owner and give it back. This fic is starting to seem like the original Death Note, so if anybody minds, I'm going to see if they got online copies of the first Dragonlance book. Maybe I can read for you guys then, and no. What you gotta do, Trixie? Point a kunai at my throat and... Do tell! The first sentence read, "This is a Gods of Death book." The second sentence read, "The human whose name is written on this book shall die." He thought, flipped through the pages, trying to look for an owner's name. And finding it, he put it in his backpack and made his way back home. 4:19 p.m. Bicycled to his family's house and stepped inside. Removed his shoes and called out a greeting, which was answered by his mother's voice coming through the kitchen. He made his way upstairs to his room, closed the door after him, sat at his desk, sliding the notebook for further study. And wait a minute! There's a little flaw here. What is it? He was still at school, in the classroom, at 3:37 p.m. It even said that he was learning around that time. Then he left at about 4 to make it back there. Even said he had 20 minutes left in his classroom, which means that school's going to end at 4. So in Japan, typically end at 3 o'clock. Or at 3:30. Unless that teacher was running his class for a really long time, no. Maybe it was a Korean school. No, then it would take place at 5. And it would be at night when light left. So, no. What we have here, folks, is a trait that a lot of non-Japanese people tend to do when they try to emulate Japanese schools in their fix. Now, Arcade Striker avoided this by not saying time, but actually making it look like it was a Japanese school. But a lot of times when they try to do this, certain American authors have this tendency to apply their school to Japanese. Please see any high school alternate first fic. This notebook shall not take effect unless the writer has the person's face in their mind when writing their name. Therefore, people sharing the same name will not be affected. If the cause of death is written within 40 seconds of writing the person's name, it will happen. The cause of death is not specified. That person will simply die of a heart attack. Under writing the cause of death, details of the death should be written within the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds. You thought again. This is cute. All other pages were regular notebook pages, completely empty. Notebook looked like it had never been used, too. Set it aside. It actually really was well made. It's taking some work to get the first page pretty like that. He turned on the TV on his desk to watch the afternoon news, flopping onto the bed. The murderer who killed 6 people yesterday in Shinjuku's Hanaka district is still locked in a preschool with a teacher and 7 children as hostages, said the news anchor, like grimace to reach for the remote to change the channels. This kind of news was a waste of time and energy. Drawing attention to a statistically non-existent event does make you feel terrible about the world. But he paused, hand hovering for a few seconds. He sat up instead and reached for the notebook and pen, wrote the man's name. Otohara Kuro, as it appeared on the screen along with his picture, not bothering to pick a cause of death, and he counted 40 seconds, looking impassively at the screen. He wasn't sure what he was trying to get out of this. Rationally, he didn't expect it to work. The world didn't look like a world where magic at this scale was real. Still, if a murderer of 6 and a kidnapper in a hostage situation wasn't a valid target for serial testing, he didn't know who it was. Well, he did, but it was just variations on the same theme. Despite that, he felt tingly as his watch ticked towards the 40-second mark. Then it ticked past it. Light looked up at the TV, where the anchor was about to switch stories when, "Oh, the hostages are coming out! Seems like everyone's fine! And now the police are storming the school. Have they made the arrest?" Okay, Vic, really, what is different here? Because so far, all I am seeing is a badly written version of the manga. Some part of his brain wasn't wanting to see that full. Police go in, seconds let him pass. Noticed that he dropped the pen and notebook on the floor. And then he was sitting on the edge of his bed, gripping the bed covers. The police finally came out. Where did I put it? Come out. With no one. No Otohara Kuro in tow. Reporters started saying something about the suspects collapsing. Like deciding enough was enough, and Reese turned the TV off, accidentally knocking his desk lamp on the floor. What just happened? Lycan, everything all right? His mother called. Yes, Mom, I just tripped. He lied, knowing with some surprise how steady his voice was. Got down his hands. They were shaking badly. Got up and made his way to the bathroom. The man had collapsed. That is what happened. He went to the door and fixed his eyes on his reflection. His usually pale skin was now ghostly. Even his lips strained to cover. He was shivering like he had a fever, And you're like, here for it? It's more cowbell. Stress, for sure. Not surprising, is it? He turned the tap on, then turned it back off. You seeing a shower would be better than swatting his face. He probably wasn't even dead. He stepped into the stream and letting the streaming water bring color to his skin. There, all you light fangirls out there! Thoughts and feelings in order. I killed a man. Is it possible? Not in the sense I could never do it. He could. He knew he had to come from somewhere. From a part of his were. Manipulating and fulfilling his goals. Part of his brain that said he were simply obstacles. Perfectly predicted in advance. Obstacles nonetheless. Part of his brain he considered, but instead, in the sense of, it is physically impossible for me to have caused me an emotional reaction which the event had been. A few minutes some thought made that clear. It was a coincidence. Obviously so. Once a stressful situation, once a very healthy, a brain tumor. More likely than a magic notebook did it. Forced to laugh, telling his brain how ridiculous this all was, and that was followed by some more genuine laughter as the tension drained from his body. Don't be silly, boy, he told himself, deciding that since there was an actual finished showering, he toweled himself dry and went back to his room, feeling a bit steadier. His eyes were immediately drawn to the fallen desk lamp. Then notebook. His heart skipped a beat. God damn it. He shook his head. Put the lamp, not broken, thankfully, back onto the desk. He reached down and slowly drew the notebook into his trash bin. Yeah, Friday, February 28th. On the news online said Kuro died of a heart attack yesterday. Like, rescued the notebook from the bin and put it into. You know, guys, I remember where I read a Spider-Man where Spidey decided to become a scientist instead of a superhero after his uncle's death because of some stupid reason. It just keeps reminding me that people who do rational things are bloody cowards! Oh, not the authors, but the characters are such bleeding cowards! Oh, couldn't learn responsibility in that this could all. Yeah, I should actually do something with my powers rather than just, making money or wasting my time being a billionaire. Good and help ease the. Heavens knows the police need it, especially in the 1970s. But because my responsibilities isn't so much better. It's a good thing I don't have a spine! He didn't use in class. He told himself that dwelling in the bloody notebook was no use. No matter how well ignoring those kinds of thoughts had worked before. It wasn't working today. I was slightly offended, so. Do I really want? Was reassured because he knew it had worked. The notebook couldn't have had. What kind of things did that imply? How did the notebook work if it did? Why did it need a name and a face? Wouldn't say DNA work? No, it would not. Why would DNA work? Wouldn't you, on that sense, need a sample of DNA? Wouldn't you need to be able to, I don't know, summon that something is connected to their hair, wherever you could get DNA? Why would DNA work? Why did you come to that conclusion? Where did you come with that conclusion? Other than your ass, of course. Why does it need a name and a face? It needs a face so the same person with the same name don't die and you can focus on it. It needs a name for a target. And it's usually for president. What? What's happened? How fast was it? It was magic. It could roll off faster than light communication. What was its point? Why kill people? That I'm gonna be fine with. That actually is because of life's expectancy, and I'm hoping it's going to explain it. Are gods of death real? Oh! Yes! Gods of death are real. That's not rational, that's stupid! Are gods of death real? I don't know. Are you wielding a death note? Yes. Does it say owned by a death god? Yes. What do you think, asshole?
He was distracted from his reverie by a couple of bullies giving a boy a hard time over homework. "Stop picking on him," Mike drawled. They turned to look at him, and their outrage melted into mumbling excuses when they noticed who he was. He had a reputation, undeserved, he thought, for being not someone you can mess with. Really? Have you actually seen Light when he's not dang Kira? Or even before so? Smiling person, very happy, nice. Not once does he seem tough as nails. He'd never been in a fight, so he figured it was probably something about how he was apparently unflappable. Maybe he was a police officer of a father. His police officer of a father who thought it pretty strange where he'd ever find a notebook filled with names of dead criminals. What was he thinking about? Come back to next class. 4:02 p.m. Germany Skills Leader 3! He left class unhurriedly, but not going out of his way to stay behind like yesterday. He wasn't going straight home either. He was going for a walk. He decided on a few things. First, it was just good sense. Whoever left the notebook lying there, he didn't just carelessly drop it in there to be used. Want other people to feel, but not that much, depending. Why rip the instructions out? It's not like you're going to figure it out. Anyway, crossing names out was also a good idea. Surely people couldn't come back to life if their names were crossed out of the notebook, could they? So there's no need to keep them visible. And if he ever filled a page, it would be destroyed, just like the instructions. There's a rule there about why not, but why cross the page out? Or even start tearing them out? Why? Are you going to start cutting out the... It was already dark when he was a small store. He sometimes bought manga for. He hadn't noticed he'd been going that way until he reached his destination. But it made sense. He started browsing the shelves when he heard the noise of motorcycles outside, followed by a male voice saying, "Hey lady, want to come out with us?" I threw a shoulder through the storefront window at the sound of the voice. It was a man who seemed to be going out of his way to be cool. Burly, with shoulder-length dirty blonde hair, wearing sunglasses. Who wears sunglasses? It's apparently Twilight, and you have no idea how Japanese time works! Lots of gold jewelry and a biking chain. 3 equally tough as friends. But he noted that they're also the owners of the motorcycles, of course. Too. He very much like he didn't want to be there. "Whoa, Shaku-san's going after a hottie," Doug his friend said one. "Shibimaru Chako. They call me Shiba Kaku." Smug grinned. "Go out with me, little." Who on this earth talks like that? The author obviously does not know Japanese politeness. And in order to demonstrate why Light should be asking this, allow me to demonstrate with a certain dub joke from One Piece. In the 4Kids dub, they rewrote this joke where Usopp was interrogating Robin to Usopp, of course, being stupid, going, "What's my name? Oh, wait, that's not right. What is your name?" In the actual version, the line actually is, "Alright, tell me your name." Oh, I forgot. My name is Usopp. Hello. The reason why that is funny is because in Japan, you normally give your name first when you're introducing yourself to somebody. And in response, the person usually gives their name to you. It is a fact of manners. A lot of times, they also start referring to each other by their last name, usually saving their first name basis when they are friends with somebody. So of course this guy is saying that. Because he's introducing himself, you clod! But he couldn't take those three on. Verbal harassment wasn't the worst he could do anyway, no matter how terrified the girl was. He would put the death note in it. Come on, honey, come with us. No! The girl cried, tried to step away, but finding her way blocked by one of the thugs. If you ever do what it needs, nondescript thugs held that. This made light pity to Rain's humoristic content. He must have been exposed. He turned to anger when Shibutaku tried to put 4 different possibility of spellings of Shibumaru Takuo were on his notebook, all with the cause of death run over by a truck. He had about 6 minutes and 48 seconds to appear, kill this man. He could hear his blood pumping through his ears by the time he was done. Noticed his muscles had locked up, like he was ready to bolt. Swallowed less. The man continued harassing the girl. Instead of making a touch with their retreating, taking her purse from her, dangling in front of her, not letting her get back, leering and catcalling. They were still trying to pretend she had a choice, which could only buy light with the notebook some time. This is not helping. He moistened his lips, which had gone dry. It occurred to him that he hadn't turned the paint in the mummy yet. His eyes were transfixed on the 4 spellings of the man's name. He glimpsed him from there and looked right back at him and held his gaze for 5 seconds, during which her face ran through hope, fear, disappointment, annoyance, and anger. That felt like a kick in his stomach. And he couldn't stop watching. He realized with some horror that he probably looked like he was getting off on this. Come on, where's that truck? Was that slimy fucker still alive? 5 minutes. He saw his eyes finally managed to slip away from her and check his watch. Feeling like no time in his brain was almost to his most minute details. It was almost deja vu. The way he repeated what was stacking mountain of horror and disgust of what it takes to get someone to do something so vile, disgusting anymore. He'd do something. He couldn't move. He just a second after that, the girl screamed. He had her purse back and grabbed the pepper spray from it, pointing at Shibumaru's face. He barked a laugh at that. Dirk! Did he expect it would protect his mouth and nose from the spray? He laughed. I heard the sound of a truck in the distance. This can't be for real. He taunted, leered, and dodged. The girl said saying couldn't hold. He acted like he was a defenseless puppy, a non-threat. And he might be witnessing this. Disapprove. Might hate him. Like it. Might be waiting on it. And you people are thinking, when's that damn truck gonna get here, aren't you? It's the third name, as if inspired by such a fine promise. The girl turned around and used the spray on one of the other thug. One who wasn't wearing shades. Kid Shibumaru's knee. He yelled to jump away in surprise. She ran. Yeah! That bitch! She's running away. Get her! Saved another one. Shibumaru immediately clang. Limp, good girl. Onto his bike. 6 minutes, 35 seconds. Slit ran. 6 minutes, 39 seconds. 40 seconds. The front of the truck hit the bike, killing the thug on impact. 4:31 p.m. By the time the light was coherent enough to understand where he was, leaning against the wall in an alley somewhere, breathing heavily and trying twice his coincidence. It's ridiculous and precise. Oh my god. After the just make contact with the alley wall peaked. He continued driving for a few minutes there, letting the cold November air would be cool for his thinking. The death note was real. It was real. It had altered the odds of causality to make a truck appear and kill someone. It pulled who knows how many strings to take a life. Possible explanation behind every event, missing memories, or unlawful flap of any paralyzed wings. It would make perfect sense. He wondered with vague unease whether the death note had manipulated him. I should check this is true anyway. Viewed the no circuits, so important killed 2 people forever. Girl's almost running in head. A rapist. I wasn't sure that girl was Shibumaru's first victim. When these thugs were acting the way he was acting, there's probably very little that Light or anyone could have done to turn him into a productive being. He threw out some more, just bile this time. He waited a few seconds. He wiped his mouth with his shirt sleeve, straightened up, and started to make his way back home. 4:50 p.m. He arrived, had dinner as nothing happened. He ate more than he usually did, explaining both this and his bedraggled appearance by citing a spontaneous desire to exercise. Then he went to his room and immediately ripped off the Death Note's cover, back, and instruction page, adding the first page to the list for good measure. No one could know. Well, that doesn't look suspicious at all! Son, what are you doing with a blank notebook and a torn cover and torn pages? Nothing? Okay, let's talk. I mean, it's not like it looks like a badly done notebook or torn. No, 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 no. That wouldn't be suspicious at all. Especially throwing all that cover away. Oh, and the instruction page, which could have more rules if you needed to learn them, and also rules that you might need to double check and make sure that they are accurate. Or if there was any rules you could possibly bend. But what do I know? I'm not a rational person. I'm just a person who thinks logically. He stripped away into the shower, like completely blank, until it wasn't. He killed 2 men in cold blood. First time he could make an excuse, but the second he knew what he was getting into. If it had worked, he known and made the decision anyway. He chose to end that man's life. When he wrote his name, chose to take it away from him, chose to kill him. Who was he to judge? Who was he to decide who got to live and die? What had this achieved for him, for anyone else? Why was this feeling so good? He laughed again. Laughing and started going to the shower. What a charming habit to pick up. Started crying. Crawled to a ball into the stream, shook and shivered, and laughed some more, raised his hands to his head. It was cold, warm, hot, cold. He couldn't decide. Couldn't think. Except he was thinking. His thinking had such power now. Power no one else could guess at. What he could do with it. What sort of disgusting human being was he for even considering this? He was no better than Hotorara and Shivamaru. He was no worse than Hotorara and Shivamaru. He could use his power for good. He could use his power for good. Up! And now the fake is experiencing some Frank Miller itis. We apologize. He raised his face up and let the water wash his tears away. His sweat, fear, pain, and anger, and self-loathing and pleasure, happiness, glee, confusion, horror. Commas, man! Use commas! If he didn't have this notebook, who else would? If he didn't use it, who else would? Could he destroy it? Could he use it? Could anyone else use it like he would? Seymour was dead, and that was good. And Holdar was dead, and that was definitely the door got under his covers, without bothering with pajamas. Yes, the 2 men he had killed. Said he would have the luxury of waking up the next morning. Booyah. 4:16 p.m. Wednesday 3rd, December 3rd, 2003. 5 days later, Light got home from school himself, as he had the past few days. Grabbed an nondescript white notebook from his backpack and opened it, looking like he had been ripped off. On the first remaining page, there were 2 names on the same date, different times. They were an hour apart in 2 different languages. That's suspicious! Except 2 different languages. Isn't that a little more extraneous? Not to mention why. The second one would happen in 4 minutes. But his computer is documented with many more names, pictures, and locations on it. That was when the actual Tsukinami showed up. A voice behind Light said. He screamed and fell off his chair. The voice laughed. Light, are you okay? Light's mother said as he heard from downstairs. Yes! James. He turned to look at the source of the voice. Why are you surprised? The creature asked. Light looked up at him from his vantage point on the ground. It didn't seem a difference to be taller, but he easily reached 7 feet. He had punched out, looking out. It's for you, guys! Got me Ryuk. Owner went back to his desk, but he couldn't actually see the notebook from where he was sitting. Trying to catch his interest. Succeeding too, mostly. I wondered whether it was a metaphor for the user, but apparently it's not. How is that a metaphor? He seldom met Ryuk's gaze. Pleasure to meet you. He kind of blinked. The pleasure's mine. It half-assed, looking confused. Light smirked, slowly returning to his usual cold self. To all lookers, he had merely a fright there. I have a few questions to ask. Ryuk's facial expressions would be unreadable. Very few muscles actually moved, but Light could identify curiosity and amusement on his face nonetheless. The first is, does anything happen to me now? What? I used to Death Note, even though I'm not a Shikigami. I killed a lot of people. Will anything happen? Will I be punished, or... Light did his best to keep his face neutral and impassive. Picture just a detached curiosity. No, nothing like that. I will do anything to you, you said, probably what was meant to be a reassuring tone. Light's only reaction raised an eyebrow, so I could keep using it. Once the Death Note lands in the human world, it belongs there. It's now yours. I see. Human world. Noted. Yes, human world, as in not the Shingegami world. Ah! Ah! If you don't want it, give it to someone else. But if you did do that, I'll erase your memories about the Death Note. Light's eyes widened slightly at that. Also, you won't be able to see me anymore. Light did not err, even though he really wanted to. He decided to turn around, revealing leathery, feathery wings that hadn't been there a second before. Opened Light's window and flew out on top of the streetlight. Light hurried towards the window, keeping very dignified and composed, of course. Looked through it. You, and only you, the Shingegami started. You, and only you could see or hear me. How do you know I was the only one who touched it? Light hissed under his breath. It was true. But this was not the flying clown's risk to take. Because you're seeing me right now. If anybody else had touched it, other people would be screaming. So, you touched it! It started flying back inside. Light cleared away. There's the stress and fear disproportionate in a normal human, which you don't seem to have when your time comes to die. It landed. Light looked close the window, looked intently at it. I'll write you won't go to either heaven. The afterlife asked. Ryu gasped, not looking like he just ran into a brick wall, somehow conveying the same emotional state. Shikigami exists. I think heaven or hell exists. I how did why is this fixed? Well, magic nobody kills people jump from there to people go somewhere when they die. Do they that? How is that not valid? People who listen to this, a valid jump. I must know. This makes no sense. You're looking at these gods exist. What's with hell? How do you? It's pretty valid. I can't really tell you that. Why not? It's against the rules. He's really unimportant to the scene. Rules? What? Never mind. I'll ask later. He said, driving his mind for a moment. Anyway, do all death notes come with instructions? Oh my god, did he really just ask that? Yes. Only made sense for there to be a normal one. If Ryu commenced in writing like here's Shikigami, should you know this already? Why was this death note here? Shouldn't it be in your world? Ryu raised the hand, scratched it. I was the one who wrote the instructions. I wrote them in English so most people can understand them. I dropped it here because this may sound weird coming from a Shikigami life. Being a Shikigami these days is so boring. Welcome to my world, irrational fact! Raising his hands to his hair in frustration. We're either sleeping or gambling. You write a few human names in Death Note, and they laugh at you for working too hard. Killing humans from the Shikigami world is a fun of a Shikigami world, bingo. Shikigami names in the notebook. Just at night was the exact same facial expression he'd been using since it arrived. This time, the impressive light got was a wide grin. I figured it'd be more fun to do it here. Multiple Shikigami, multiple Death Notes, check. You people don't look at, can't see me right now. My face of stupidity and horror. Was there something you really needed to confirm? To Shikigami, the light realized what time it was. It quickly turned around. Quickly, the first name writing on the nondescript notebook he left on his desk. The youth was floating around moving his wings, peeked over his shoulder. What's that? Light turned to look at it again. It leaked again, Mrs. Window. It's your notebook. Didn't you recognize it? Shikigami grabbed it without asking and stared at it. Flipped through a few faces. What did you do to my notebook? It screeched, losing his composure in a second. Duke! Light started once again got to his throat. Kenta's closely explained. Well, I couldn't just go around carrying a black notebook called a death note with instructions on how to kill people, names of dead people in it, now could I? If only in the anime Light never carried it around and used it all the time at home, but that would be just stupid! That would be just moronic. It's not like Light only wrote names in his book. Are you sure you watched the anime? That line reads like somebody who didn't really watch the anime. What means? At best, people would think I'm a creep or insane, or a serial murderer. Plus, my father's a police investigator. That would definitely be noteworthy if he found it. Ah, Ryuk said elegantly. There's only 3 names. It'd just be stupid to leave them there. Why? Just if only you know the book. If only you have the book. If only it's anywhere near you. Why would you bother? This seems rather extraneous and time wasting. And if somebody saw you use evidence of a fire, quiet! Just be intelligent. Please, rational face of battles intelligent as Goku on a good day. True. Speaking of which, he started. It's next a notebook from the below. He ran his pen across out 2 other names until they were legible. He paused. Incidentally, Ryuk, can I use a pencil instead of a pen? Didn't know if it needed to be permanent. Pages? You already filled pages? Seemed to have trouble processing everything go on. Well, in fact, it was only 1 page. Light explained modestly. At first I thought it'd be better if I just randomly picked a time and place for each victim. If I concentrate all my killings in Kanto pattern. Ryuk nodded slowly. Gee, if only Light actually did go away for Kanto in the manga and actually start killing more people worldwide. This is why it grew worldwide attention. Are you sure you read the damn manga? It's using random time problems. One of them that was being annoying and couldn't be bothered. Light shrugged. I killed one person randomly selected time zone, so the only pattern is temporal, playing accuracy. I'm mostly safe there. No, you wouldn't. You really wouldn't. A pattern that's temporal is still a pattern! You've looked at Light blankly. Patting himself on the back for the accomplishment of sucking a supernatural being to silence. Reached for the notebook again. And what's more, let's say that for all stupidity that this was a smart move. Wasn't it? But if this was a smart move, how would anybody make the connection between them to actually be people die an hour per day? Multiple by the minute worldwide. There is literally no way this could not work because people would be dying and nobody would notice. Would kill multiple people when people start killing. He removed a name in the face that he just killed from the text document. Grabbed 1 6-sided die and 1 4-sided die from his desk for a drawer. Oh, how I wish I was playing D&D right now. He ran 3 numbers. 96 people so far. Actually, it was 105 first. To confirm the power of the notebook. All we needed to know a few more details. Criminals, the Shikigami asked, pointing the notebook face down. How would you know what the tests? Just guess! Like continued throwing his dice. Yes. I'm not for killing people for fun here. Although I must admit they're doing a job. I'm fighting people. Criminals. People who do terrible things. Serial killers, rapists, abusers, people who escape the law. People who dodge justice, people in a sentence, don't deserve to live. Ryuk continues to stare, using exclusively public information that could be somewhat easily found on the internet. I can start making the world a better, safer place. Before the screen where the list of names and faces are still open, these are all people I researched about, and I found to be bad for society. Just like the manga! I'm still not seeing how this is a rational fic when all I'm seeing is a badly written, badly done copy of the manga! And you put all causes as heart attack, you've done the defaults already that. Yes, if I don't put a cause of death after the name, I can't choose the time of death. I tested it, and I needed that. Additionally, I don't want people to ignore this. I want them to notice. But they won't notice! That's the other reason why I left the temporal patterns. He grinned. I want to know I'm passing judgment. I want them to know there's an overlord. If you do evil, you will be punished. That way, no one will do evil. But no one's going to notice! Sick! A person dying in an hour is a criminal dying in the hour is just average. People are not going to within the hour. No one's going to notice or care or make that special connection you're trying to throw down my throat. It doesn't work. Really, you'll be the only evil one left, the Shikigami replied, growing more and more amused as time progressed. What are you talking about? I'm the savior, he responded innocently. I'm Japan's #1 honor student, and I will be god of this world. Until he stopped, his laugh became more childish. Sorry, I'm kidding. I need to do the Dark Lord's secrets at least once. You have no idea how much fun this is. Ryuk failed to raise an eyebrow, but could fade his sentiment just fine. I want people to know, he said, returning to his previous, more serious tone, that their failing governmental systems aren't the only negative incentive going on. I just killed people randomly. Now maybe they'll think twice. A sad contradiction that makes me a monster as well. I'm the scapegoat. And for my sins, punishment is whatever destiny is stored for users from the Death Note. I accept it. He stopped in front a bit. Killing is bad. No one is killed. But sometimes it's the best thing to do. Batman's insane. Everyone thinks he's the paragon of virtue, so he refuses to kill the Joker. What about the unnamed, faceless people Joker kills? They're all on Batman. Batman could stop all that. He could just kill the Joker, but he won't. Many more people are dead because of him. So I won't be the Batman. I won't let all those Jokers get away with it. I'll make the world better. Unlike anything Batman has ever done for Gotham City. And damn myself on the way there. Ryuk smiled wide and humans are so interesting. Then Light sat back down and asked, So Ryuk, is there a god? I didn't see the comment, guys. Thursday, December 4th, 2003. Interpol. There's more than 100 just this week. All over the world seems. Only criminals. All wanted to keep judgment. All of a heart attack. All the only ones we know of. There must be many more. Elsewhere, someone, somehow, had access to the cameras in the meeting. So wearing a plain white shirt and blue jeans. Sitting on the wooden floor of a room that was empty, except for the computer showing the images himself. So, Interpol's finally acting. I won't be able to avoid keeping the police on a case like this. End of chapter, and thank God this author decided to destroy the rest of this fic before he could harm it. Golly, this thing sucked. Oh, I just... This still... It's more... It sounds alright, until you start asking questions. And you better believe that if you start asking these writers these questions, say is, you're a stupid head, or some variation of it, and try to make you look like a moron for asking the question. Which sadly also means that straight answer out of all of it. All you guys, some idiots, try to act smart. Try to look intelligent, not. All they are are just fools. Because they're really asking questions that don't really need to be answered. You don't need to be asked. Do we really need to answer these? Do we really care? I present to you, no. I, as an audience, never cared about the mass matter conversion of how to transform into an animal. I don't care about how this magic spell works. I care about some of these ideas. Seriously, it just feels like these writers are trying to create questions that only exist in his. And for me, that's just bad. That's just poor writing. One down, thousands more to go. See you next time.